Thank you all for joining us in this room. We're having a protocol development and evolution track in Morrison. It's going to be a very long 3-day track that with amazing content. So thank you for being here. I'm Jennifer. I'm just going to give you a quick introduction on what we're going to be working on here at this track. So thank you. Come here, my partner in crime. So together with Nicola Greco, say hi. We're bringing you the protocol track in Singapore over here. We're super excited. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah. Can you go to the next slide? Oh, yeah. So thank you for coming here. I think this has been great to organize, especially because I think Jennifer took care of a lot of the planning, and you will see we have a fantastic schedule ahead. We have workshops, educational talks, but also directional talks of what we think, what most of you think could be the future of Filecoin. And just a few words on who Jennifer and I are. I think a lot of people know Jennifer because she's very active in the community, and very few people know myself. I am Nicola, and part of CryptoNet, and we are a research and development team that works on mostly improving the Falcon protocol. Historically, we work on the Falcon spec, and now we're working on a lot of the Falcon improvements, from Snarkback, Snapdeal, synthetic PowerApp, soon non-interactive PowerApp, and many others.
For those who doesn't know me yet, I lead the Lotus team. Lotus is the reference implementation of Filecoin. We are written in Go. So what our team do is implementing Filecoin protocol, working with all the amazing research developer protocol engineers we have across the ecosystem. CryptoNet Lab, Crypto Econ Lab, Consensus Lab, all those teams, and also FVM and IPC teams to make sure we build the software can actually deliver the Fallcoin vision to people. And people probably know me because I also work very actively, closely with other core devs, including our Venus, Forest, other implementation in the ecosystem. So glad to see you here in person. Yay, Forest! So that's Lotus. So quickly, we are actually having a protocol track in 2 weeks in Iceland as well, who is going to be led by Kuba, who is a protocol R&D developer at Nicola's team. So hopefully I will see you guys in 2 weeks. So the whole idea of this track, why are we here? So we have all heard about, okay, so here's the mission of Falcoin. We're building a decentralized, efficient, and robust foundation for humanity's information. Wang has talked about what that means multiple times now, so I'm not gonna, iterate all those. But why are we here? We're talking about how. How do we build that? So the next thing we're gonna talk about is how. How are we gonna build that efficient, robust, a decentralized storage foundation for humanity information? And last but not least is again, how. How can we evolve the protocol to actually deliver that vision, deliver that mission that brought us together over here? So that's why we are having this track. What can you expect here is this is your field dev summit. You have heard a lot of things from our teams, through FIP discussions, network upgrades, all those things. But this is your network. We want to build a network, evolve the protocol with you all. So this is your summit. We want to share the knowledge, learn new stuff from each other, learn from your experience, no matter whether you're a search provider, data clients, researchers, or who are building the software, FVM builders, people who are interested in retrieval incentives, so on and so forth. We want to hear from you. We want to learn from each other. And then we're going to identify all the challenges we're having. We are not here to celebrating all the things we already delivered in the past 3 years, even though they have been glorious 3 years. But we are right now want to focus on what's next, what's the future, how can we make the network better, how can we make the network participants participate in the network in the longer term, so we can have this, the network can exist longer than we are in this world. So that's our goal here, building the Falcon storage network. We want to be building together and collaborating, so on and so forth. It's I work with a lot of teams, as I mentioned, IPLs or ChainSafe, IPS4, other teams. I want to hear more from more ecosystem teams. We want to collaborate with you all. There are so many challenges to resolve here. in the Falcon Network, we cannot do it by ourselves. Like it's not like a 5-team job, 10 teams job. This literally we have to gather all these amazing human beings and talents to build the solution together, target like different problems and so on and so forth. So this is the perfect chance for tell us like what you're working on and connect with different teams who are focused on different problems and see how we can work together in Q4 2023 and many years after that. We also want to build a stronger connections across like protocol developers and the researchers like in the Fallcoin Network. So since FVM launched, I know we have a more active, engaged builder community that are building applications on top of Falcon. However, we can use more of those energy building the Falcon protocol as well so that we can have more faster involvement in the protocol. I want to ship more network upgrades, like more MIDI network upgrades all the time. However, right now we are kind of bandwidth like limited by how many engineers we have at the Lotus team, Venus team, and the Forest team, or like people who can contribute building the built-in actor, which is our protocol things. So there are many ideas that are coming from I think like 80% from like CryptoNet Lab team, like a CEL, like many other teams. But like I know you all have like awesome ideas about how we should be involving Falcon protocol. Let's talk about those. Let's like build the thing together. My goal here is like in next year while I coordinate like network upgrades, I want the team I has to be working with the number of that moving from 5 teams to like 15 teams. That would be my goal. Like I want you to set up more challenges for me, but like yes, let's like build a protocol together. Not only you can build applications on Falcon, you can also define the foundation of the network that all those applications are built on top of. So that's why we are here gathering this track. And again, FOMO is real. I know a lot of the time community members want to be like, oh, here's a network upgrade schedule, but like, how can I get what I want into that? This is the chance we can iterate how we coordinate network upgrades and design the roadmap of like Falcon protocol trajectory like together. So you don't have to FOMO this time. You can actually be here in real life, defining that together with all the other protocol engineers in the network. So let's do that. If you are here, and please help us share your takeaways, like your learnings here in the public discussions. I will send the link later on. And also, hopefully, a lot of the ideas will be captured as FIP discussions later on. So that we will be actually working on that over the next couple months. So, okay, what does that mean? So we want to talk about how. Why do we want to do that? So let's take a look on what we have today, like developed like since 2020, I think. Oh, it's my first day at PL, like August 24th is the Genesis block when Falcon actually ships. So far we have onboarded like more than like 10 exabytes of like storage into the network. It's not our peak. I think our peak at most we have like 18 exabytes. Still, it's a lot of storage. Can hold a lot of data. And next slide, we can see, starting from like 2020, if you can see how much data are onboarded, like this on-ramp like of the data onboarded onto the Falcon, it's a very great like progress. Sometimes we just forget to celebrate all the work has contributing to that. So right now we actually have more than like 1.5 exabytes of data stored in this decentralized like storage network. I think it's pretty awesome. And also FVM launched March the 14th this year, and so on. Like, see like how many FVM transactions we have in the network, and also we have almost 3,000 smart contracts been deployed in the past like 4 like months. I'm talking about like unique smart contracts. It's not like you deployed like 100 NFTs or like 1,000 of them. No, these are unique contracts, like evolving perpetual storage contract, like DeFi, like all those things. It's really cool. Congratulations and thank you for your contribution to the Falcon Network so far. But there's always a but. It's not always also rainbow-y, right? Like if it's all just that, like what's the fun in building the Falcon protocol? So we are here to talk about the challenges. We are not only here to celebrating, we are actually want to go into the spicy conversations that we usually only having online in like GitHub discussion on Slack and so on and so forth. Here we can talk about them like in real life. Don't be shy. Don't be not cat. So a couple of things. You as a storage provider, what the heck happened 2 months ago? It's like I mined the blocks, but I'm not getting the win income. Like I'm not getting the block rewards. I'm not packing the messages. What happened? Why am I having orphan blocks? What's the chain quality going on? What's Filecoin Plus? Is it critical for the network? Is network storage incentive important? Is it creating a permission layer of the network? I don't know. We are going to talk about that. And yes, where is my data? So I stored over like 1 exabytes of data in the network. Like, can I actually get it out? Is Filecoin actually a black hole storage where you put data in? You did like what's going on over there? And again, if you're a storage provider, I heard you spend a lot of money not only on gas but also on taking care of your storage service on the network. Why do we need so much babysitting? Like why there are so many steps for me to provide service on Falcon? And also it's like, is the network fast enough? Is 30 seconds fast enough? Is the block big enough? Do we have enough chain spaces? Or do we need faster consensus, like finalities and scaling solutions? Hint, hint, IPC people, I see you there. So yes, we don't want people to yell at us about not being fast and big enough as a network. And also very sadly, what happened to my block rewards? I'm trying to survive as storage business, but what's going on? What I used to can make 20 something block rewards per block. Now maybe 2/3 of that. What's going on? Let's understand that. Let's make sure not only everyone can use the network, but we can also be. You guys as storage providers can also sustain your business to provide service for the network so that more data clients can put their data into the network and application builders can actually get the data out to build different data economies, data use cases on Filecoin, and also eventually compute over data into all the network data. Cool. So all that being said, it's going to be 3 days of talking about Filecoin protocol. Yes, I work on Falcon protocol quite often, but I have never done that 3 days straight. So I'm kind of nervous about that, but it's gonna be really fun. So as you can see, we're kicking off here in the Morrison ballroom over here. We're gonna be in the same room tomorrow morning here. As well for some directional talks, proposal talks and so on and so forth. In the afternoon, I forgot to capture it here. We're actually gonna be in a different room. I will let you know where that, I think it's next door. We're actually going to be having a lot of workshops starting tomorrow afternoon. So it's going to have a better setup for open discussions and so on and so forth. On day 3 in the morning, we're going to have a lot of a couple lightning talks. Also we're going to hear from ChainSafe to talk about community-owned protocols and forest vision of Filecoin trajectory and so on and so forth, and some lightning talks for people to share what you learned over the past over the next couple of days and what you want to build, what you want to see in the Filecoin protocol in the future. And in the afternoon, we're going to be having more workshops to discuss about retrievals, consensus scaling, and Filecoin economics and so on and so forth. So yes, a lot of topics we are going to cover: storage data onboarding, consensus scaling, how to build a better, how to improve our storage utilities, network economies, better pull reps, faster pull reps, retrieval pull reps, and all the good things about building on top of Filecoin via FEM and IPC. Yes, my goal, my expectation, my hopes from you guys after this, these 3 days is no more sitting around. Me as a FIP editor, after this, I want to see more fix from different FIP authors, different ideas. I would love to work with other FIP editors to bring your idea into realization into the Filecoin protocol via network upgrades. So please, having great conversations, write down your ideas, open them up in the FIP discussions, and writing them as FIPs and propose that and present to the communities so that we can evolve the Filecoin protocol together. Don't sit around. That's my cat, by the way. So who always oversees my work in the Filecoin community. So that's that. I think that's all I have as an intro.